This video, I'll be reading my all-new Wimpy Kid fanfiction parody book, Long Story Short. This will be the second section of Greg Heffley's finale of middle school. Also, if you end up loving the series, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, and once we reach this milestone, I'll be able to have the resources to create some fun competitions for my community. Learn how to get a shout out at the end of the video, and enjoy the show. Monday. Today we finally started fourth quarter, so that meant that I would be switching exploratories for the final time. I got put in art with Miss Sabako. I thought that the whole period would be individual work time, but Miss Sabako would usually give a lecture about some dead artist. When we take a look at Van Gogh's Starry Night, what was he conveying? Why did he paint it that way? Zzz. Miss Sabako is definitely an eccentric teacher. She talked about Vincent Van Gogh, which was even more boring than the Crossland High intro video, something that I didn't even know was possible. She even talked about how Van Gogh cut off his ear. I don't know why that's related to art, but wow. That's something you don't hear about every day. While she was talking about our art class, Miss Sabaka did mention about a potential field trip to a cartoon museum that was only for people taking this exploratory. If I could go on a field trip and skip school, that's a win-win for me. The cartoon museum did seem interesting, but I decided to continue my excitement and look disinterested like all the other boys. Zzz. Usually the girls are really into art while the boys are the complete opposite. I actually like art, but because some of the boys like to make fun of me for it, I try to hide my enjoyment. Tonight, Roderick was making dinner because Mom was at the campus attending night school. You literally can't be worse than Roderick at cooking. I don't understand why Dad doesn't cook, but when I really think about it, Dad's also not a very good chef. Dad once set the chicken on fire because he let the oil sit on high heat for a bit too long. Do you guys like extra well done? Sss. When I got downstairs, the meal was 4 unpeeled potatoes, 2 chicken nuggets, an unopened can of baked beans, and a floppy loaf of bread. I asked Roderick what the heck was all of this, and he replied, dinner, duh. Roderick, we can't eat this. What do you mean? We've got all the nutrients like protein, carbs, and veggies. Roderick explained that he didn't know how to use a can opener, not like we had the internet or anything, and he didn't have enough time to peel the potatoes or fry the chicken nuggets because he was working hard on his band performance for prom. We had a really long rehearsal. How did the school hire the worst band in the city? Dad didn't have much of a rebuttal, and there wasn't that many chicken nuggets, so I called dibs. I probably should have remembered that Roderick is Roderick, and he's not going to offer any nice favors. Blick! Crunch. Turns out the chicken wasn't even chicken at all. It was one of those nasty vegetarian ones that Roderick knows I hate. A lot of the times, Roderick can seem really stupid and really cunning at the same time. You see, this is why you can't just allow the 4 of us men to run the house. Usually Mom would take care of most of the work around here, but recently it's not possible because of her treasurer campaign and her university studies. I may not like everything Mom does, but that's pretty darn commendable. As a result, Mom's been advocating for Roderick and I to be more responsible around the house even more than we already do now. Her new motto that she's been throwing around is taking full ownership, which means being accountable for our actions, mistakes, and duties. If we make mistakes before we blame someone else, we should reflect on ourselves and say, what more could I have done? Is the talk over yet? Yeah, because I'm really hungry. So Mom assigned me to mow the lawn, clean the toilets, as well as doing the laundry. She specifically wanted me to do the laundry because of the Roderick disaster. I'm really not worried about it because you only need to do laundry 1 time a week. But laundry is pretty annoying because there's a lot of steps. Don't even get me started on mowing lawns and cleaning toilets. I know that I tried to create a lawn mowing business a few summers back, but that doesn't mean that this chore is smooth sailing. First of all, I don't make any money. There's also a steep ditch that's covered in leaves, so I can never predict where the lawn dips. Our house is also situated on a hill, so trying to push a machine up a slope definitely knocks the wind out of me. Gasp! Wheeze! Finally, I get to clean the toilets. Everything's fine except that Manny, let's just say he isn't very accurate with his stools. Manny recently stopped using his plastic potty, which might sound like a great thing. However, Manny's still small, so he can't access the footrest while he's going number 2. Instead, he's got to crouch on top of the toilet seat, so some of the remains get stuck on the inside of the toilet. I've already complained about this several times to Mom and Dad, but they usually say that Manny is still learning, and we have to be patient for those who are younger than us. Let me tell you, I don't have patience for scrapping dry doo-doo off a toilet seat all afternoon. Tuesday. Unfortunately, I had to go to Dr. Kagan's office again for another orthodontics appointment. Today, Dr. Kagan was going to put molds in my teeth to get an impression from my braces treatment. I've heard of this mold thing and how it's really unpleasant. I think they even make the molds from seaweed. When Dr. Kagan put the mold into my teeth, it reduced my air passage down to like a millimeter. Also, he wasn't fooling around, so he held the mold really firmly inside my mouth. Gag! I don't think my gag reflex is that good, so I felt like at any point I would swallow the mold. I think Dr. Kagan held the mold in my mouth for like a minute, but it felt like eternity. Tick, tock, any minute now. And I was so happy when I found out that he had to do the bottom teeth too. Wednesday. Dad told me today that based on my achievements at track and my job, I was mature enough to get a phone in preparation for high school. Wow. I thought I'd be the one asking Dad for a phone, but it turns out he's recommending one to me. I immediately wanted the newest cell phone, the one that has 5G, wireless charging, and a million cameras.
Oh, baby.
Dad took a brief look at the price, which was $1,000. Boy, we ain't buying that. Instead, he insisted on buying a used model that was a few years old. He highlighted the much better deal considering they look the same every year. I was about to complain, but when I saw the alternatives, it wasn't that bad. They had about the same functional features for a fourth of the price of the newest model. Plus, when I dug a little bit further, the wireless charging wasn't even wireless at all. We bought the phone online on Nozama, and I paid the phone with my salary from my newspaper delivering job. To be honest, I don't think I've talked about my job all that much. I had to pay off my lost tablet a few weeks ago, and I'm still delivering newspapers really early every morning. Rumble, rumble, rumble. I wanted to quit, but the waiver I signed with the company has a 2-month minimum until you can leave your position. So I'm basically stuck until summer break. And Knuckles, who's my driver partner and literally a modern caveman, isn't making the job any more fun than it is now. This morning we were taking a break at one of those 24/7 convenience stores. Knuckles offered to pay for some snacks because he's actually pretty chill. Knuckles told me a hack about getting slushies. He usually mixes it with a bunch of soda from the soft drink machine. Is this legal? Grunt, why wouldn't it be? Knuckles assured me that both of the drinks were the same price, so there wasn't anything wrong with that. However, his next hack was problematic. Knuckles told me that he usually puts like 6 hot dogs in his paper tray, but he covers it with paper napkins, so it only seems like he's taking one. Now, I definitely wasn't going to try that hack. I'm not trying to get arrested for shoplifting. If Knuckles ever gets caught, you know who I'm throwing under the bus. I've never seen this guy in my entire life. Again, these are the people who get hired to deliver newspapers. Staying in a van with Knuckles for 2 hours wasn't even the worst part about my job. I'm usually supposed to sleep at 8 in the evening and wake up at 3:30 in the morning, but it's kind of hard to sleep when you can still see the light shining through your window. Sometimes, I'll be looking at my ceiling fan for hours until I finally get sleepy. 10,320, 10,321, 10,322. I know that I can sleep for an hour after my shift is done, as well as a few hours after school, but when I first started, it was a monumental change to my daily rhythm. Also, Mom isn't helping the matters. When she comes home every so often, she always chats on the phone with her friends, but it's really loud. Hey, how are the kids? Good? Uh-huh. I don't know why moms think that you need the voice of a jet engine in order to communicate on a cell phone. May, Thursday. I was just playing video games after school when I saw Roderick holding one of my journals. Greg, you're such a weirdo. You were simping for a high school girl in dog days. Hey, I remember that the last time Roderick got a hold of my journal, it wasn't a pretty scene. Cite the ladies' restroom at Leisure Towers. Roderick started to bolt, but luckily Mom was standing at the door. Roderick? Give Greg his diary back. Whatever. Once my band gets a hit, I'm moving out of this crib and living my dream. That'd be unbelievable. I've mentioned Roderick's band already, but the only hit they've ever made was the garbage disposal outside the convenience store. Dude, what was that? Clang. It's kind of coincidental that Roderick's van hit a garbage disposal because it perfectly sums up the music his goons make. Trash. Yeah, I'm the roast king. Don't take my word for it. This is their latest song. Don't need no grades, we're riding all night, cause I'm the man and I need a new van. Hey! I don't know why Roderick is still pushing this heavy metal band idea for 4 years. I don't even think Low Diaper has even sold a single album yet. However, Roderick's definitely out there grinding. They replaced Chris, who's the old singer, with a new guy. I think his name is Zaxxon, and he's just good looking. He doesn't even have a singing background, but Roderick's band recently discovered autotune.
This is rock and roll, baby.
I'm calling it. This dude's gonna be #1 on the Billboard. I think Roderick knows that too. He's already asked me to make some Low Diaper merchandise designs because I'm good with drawing and stuff. In return, Roderick told me that I would get free Low Diaper concert tickets for life, but I sweetened the deal and only agreed if he paid me $10. He reluctantly agreed on the offer. I made beanies that look like diapers with the Low Diaper logo smack in the middle, and I photoshopped Roderick's band to look more attractive. The album covers were super easy to make, partly because Roderick couldn't draw a stickman if his life depended on it. They already made a few album covers before I stepped in, and they wanted a theme among all of them. I made the covers super minimalist, but I don't think Roderick even cared about the lack of effort. Loaded Diaper, The Return. Loaded Diaper, Darkness XX. Now, if I could just tell my relatives during the next reunion that Manny drew this, I would be swimming in cash. That's where we're going to end for now. Join a $30 Barnes & Noble giveaway in the description. In the meantime, how have you not seen my video with the best Wimpy Kid poster of all time? You can also help out a small creator by the name of Don't Care Studios. He makes science and hypothetical videos, and it would make his day if you checked him out. By the way, the shoutout winners from last time, Chiriath Joseph, Dude.30, Rambachan, Polish Yoda, Awab Dafala, That NS, Wizard Kids, and Don't Care Studios. The first 8 commenters with this emoji will get shoutouts. I'll see you guys soon.